Do you want to automate all of your vulnerability scanning process, your pen testing, everything that you do for a web application? Do you want to automate it all? Well, this video is about that. I'm going to teach you how to use Nuclei, how to get the subdomains, how to do crawling, and everything. This is going to be a very advanced video on using Nuclei to do web scanning on a website and all of the subdomains and all of the crawled URLs as well. This is going to be very, very powerful and time saving for you. So let's just get into it. First of all, what is Nuclei? I don't want to get into the basics, but just Nuclei is just a tool that is community powered and it's free to use, that does scanning for you on websites and finds you bugs and exploits and vulnerabilities for a website or for the given list of websites. So, and you can also Google it up or use ChatGPT to understand what Nuclei is, but let's just get into the advanced. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Subfinder to get the subdomain list for our target website. And the target website that we're going to be using is Flipkart. It's also listed on HackerOne, so it's free to use for bug bounties or for web application scanning. So we're going to be using Flipkart and flipkart.com. I hope I'm getting the URL correct. Okay, so flipkart.com, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to be doing silent so it doesn't show us the output, and we're going to be saving this in subdomains, no, in Flipkart, or no, let's just say subdomains flipkart.txt. So we're using Subfinder to find the subdomains. We're using the -d to provide the URL, which is the domain, the main domain. And then we're using silent to doesn't show us the output on the CLI. And then we're saving the output in subdomains flipkart.txt. Let's just run it. And it's running silently, of course. And then we have got the file here, which is subdomains flipkart.txt, and it has found all these subdomains. Okay, like this is hundreds of subdomains, I guess. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to be reading these subdomains and we're going to get this output into HTTPX. Now, what is HTTPX? HTTPS is a simple tool to actually probe all of these subdomains and see which subdomains actually are live, actually have running HTTP server. So we can only put in the Nuclei only those running subdomains, those live subdomains. So we're going to be doing HTTPX silent again, and then we're going to save the targets in live targets flipkart.txt. So we're running this. Again, it's simple. Cat subdomains flipkart.txt. This reads the output from that file, gives this output to HTTPX. HTTPX then probes every single one of those subdomains and gives us only the list of the live targets and the live subdomains of Flipkart. It's that simple. So it's running, and let it run. I'll probably get back to you and when the scan is finished. So yeah, now that the scan is done and we have the file in here, live targets.flipkart, we can see all of these subdomains are actually live. So now we have two options. Either we can feed all of these live subdomains into Nuclei directly, or we can go a little bit more advanced, which is crawling. So we will crawl every single one of these websites, every single one of these subdomains, and actually then give that crawled URL list to Nuclei. So we have two options. Either you can directly go to Nuclei, or you can just use the advanced option to actually crawl as well. And as you guessed, this video is about going deep into the advanced mode. So we're also going to be using crawl mode. So we're going to be using, again, we are going to do live targets, Flipkart, and then again this. And then what we're going to do is we are going to use Katana. Now Katana is a tool that is used for crawling, okay, that actually crawls through the whole website. So you can also Google it up. And then we're going to be doing silent, so it doesn't show us the output. And then we are going to save this in crawled URLs and flipkart.txt. So again, what we are doing is that we are reading this output from this file. We're giving the output of this file into Katana using this little thing here, and then we are running this Katana command, and then we are saving this Katana command's output into this file. Very simple, okay? And then we're going to be run this. So yeah, the command is correct. And this is going to take some time, and I'll get back to you when the scan is finished. So what's actually happening is that I've been running this command for crawling the every subdomain for about an hour right now. It's been 60 minutes easily, I think, and it's still running. The problem is that it's actually working, but the domains, like the subdomains, are too much, and it's actually going into every subdomain and crawling every link. So even crawling one single subdomain takes lots of time. So I don't want to wait that much, but you can try to wait if you want. But I will just stop this and let's just go to crawl URLs. And there are so many URLs, you can see so many URLs, right? And if you run this on Nuclei, yes, it's going to be too much advanced, but it's going to take too much time. So we're not going to be doing that, but I've shown you the method on how to do that. And let's just go directly into Nuclei now. So we're going to be using the subdomains list into Nuclei, and we're going to be running an advanced command on Nuclei. So first we do Nuclei, and then we do -L, which we provide the target list, which is basically live targets, Flipkart. So here it contains the subdomain list, right? So we are feeding Nuclei the subdomain list with this -L command argument. And then we're going to be doing is -S, and then high, and then critical. So what this does is that it only shows us high and critical vulnerabilities in the platform, in the subdomain list. And then we're going to be saving this output into final report nuclei.txt. You can name this file anything you want. And again, just to recap, we are not doing the Nuclei command on the URLs that we were crawling, because that took too much time. But if you want to do that, you can just let this run, let this Katana command run, and then use that output file of that Katana command and put this in here, and it will work the same way. All right, so it will work the same way, but I don't want to wait that much, so I have just given this the subdomain list that we got from the subfinder command, and with the -S we are only showing the high and critical vulnerabilities, and then we are putting that into the final report nuclei.txt file. So I'm just gonna run it, and it's running. I'll get back to you once this is finished. It's gonna take some time. So again, me living in a country where the internet is not so good, we faced a problem, which was basically that we were running this command for too long, and it took me it's been like 30, 40, 50 minutes, and it's still running the command. And the reason behind that is that it's too many subdomains, right? And Nuclei is testing every subdomain with all the templates, right? So of course, it's going to take too much time. So what we are going to be doing right now is we are actually going to, I've already reduced the subdomains to only few. So you can just go live targets, and let me just show you before I run the command. So flip cart.txt. So we only have these subdomains that we will be testing against. So again, we run the command nuclei L live targets flipkart.txt, and then only show these levels of criticalities, and then show the stats, and then O final report nuclei.txt. So even if I'm reducing the number of subdomains, it's the same. You don't need to worry. You know the methodology of how to get the subdomains, of how to probe every subdomain, of how to get those crawling done, and how to then get the final report through Nuclei scanning. You know the method, you know the plan. You can do it, you can customize this even more, but this is how I work. So let's just enter this. And again, I'll get back to you once this is done, and hopefully this doesn't take too much time and doesn't take like eternities to success. One thing that you can do, which I really recommend, is use DigitalOcean $200 free credit and have your VM there, so like virtual machine there, and have like a Ubuntu machine that's running your scripts. And of course, DigitalOcean's internet is going to be very fast because it's a cloud platform, or you can use Google Cloud Platform as well. or maybe you can use Google Colab to run your scripts or to run your commands. I think it also offers console option in Google Colab. So it will be much more faster if you're trying to scan websites that have like hundreds of subdomains or multiple subdomains, or even like URLs, when you're crawling URLs when you're on the crawl mode. So we're just letting it run, and as you can see that its target loaded for scan is 3, and executing 1902 signed templates from this, and loading 6 unsigned templates for the scan, and it's using intercache interact, I don't know how to pronounce this, but interact server. And you can search it up what this means, or you can ChatGPT it. But again, I'll get back to you once this is done, and then we'll do a final recap of what we actually did and what to do for you as well. We're back with the scan, and the results are here. So do not get demotivated by watching this result, because I consciously actually wanted to have less results because we scanned very few subdomains. So let's just go into final report. Final report nuc.txt, and it's saying no results found. Wait a second. All the URLs. Okay, yeah, it didn't find any results, so that's why I didn't make that final report. So this is the final report. So what it did was basically it found no results and said better luck next time. Why did it didn't find any results? Let's check. If you go to the live targets, the live targets subdomains, let's just say we go into this subdomain, right? So if you go into this subdomain, we can see that this is nothing, right? If we go into this subdomain, we can see that it is nothing again, I think. So let me just see. Okay, it's a redirect to Flipkart. And if we see this subdomain, this is also nothing, right? So that's why I didn't find any vulnerabilities. Okay, so again, recapping what we did and why is this so useful to you while you're doing your vulnerability scanning or your web application hacking. This is so useful because first I taught you how to get those subdomains using Subfinder. Then I taught you how to probe only live HTTP servers, and then to get those filtered TXT file list of those live subdomain list. And then I taught you how to even use Katana to crawl those URLs, right? To crawl those websites. And then I taught you how to use this Nuclei command to actually get those vulnerabilities through these live targets websites list, right? And then put it into the output file. Now I'm going to teach you a little bit of commands that are also important for you to know. And these come a little bit advanced. And there's a new command called Nuclei AI, right? This command, Nuclei AI, you can search it up on the YouTube. It's actually a command that will be able to, you can use like this, and you can say to it like find API routes from the responses, right? So using this command, you can tell Nuclei AI to actually be able to write human language, and you can get data from it, right? This is a pretty recent command that's been introduced by Nuclei, and it's pretty good. So I think you need to input the ChatGPT key or OpenAI key or some sort of AI key into this, then only it can work. So again, this is one of the commands that you can see about, but I want to show you something else. I want to show you Uncover Engine. So basically, Nuclei has an Uncover Engine integration for mass scanning. And what it does is that it uses Nuclei's built-in ability to do a quick internet search engine scan, like it will search up Shodan and Census to find lots of targets matching a specific description that you put. And then it will do a very quick safe first scan on them. And then we will follow up with a slightly deeper but careful scan only on interesting ones found initially. So what is this command like? So this is another advanced command that probably you wouldn't find on the internet, people sharing this up. But I'm sharing this with you. What you do is that you first type in UC This is to use the uncover engine. So it will use the uncover engine, and then UQ. So this is the user query, the query that you put in, right? So let's say we want Nuclei to find ports that are open, or let's just say that we want to find SSL certificates that are expired, right? SSL certificates are expired, and we say true, okay? And then this is the query that Nuclei will search up in the descriptions of Shodan and Census, and will do the automatic search for you, okay? Of all the subdomains that you provide. And then you will do UL and 50. What this will do is basically this will limit the search to 50 targets maximum, okay? And then what you have to do is you have to say S medium. So you have to say S medium, so it will find medium or high or critical, high or critical vulnerabilities. And then we will put the output into a scan uncover flipkart.txt. Okay, so this is what this command will do. And also we will have to input our website link. So what we have to do is we have to put in the website link. So let's just say I think the command for that is actually u. So we'll do u, what is the Flipkart website name? Okay. Yeah, this is the name. U https and flipkart.com, and then we type in here this. So again, to show you what this can actually do is very powerful. So normally you would want to go into Shodan and do manual researching, and then you're doing manual researching for everything like on Shodan or on like Census. But this will automate that process for you, and even can search up subdomains for you if you provide it with the -l argument and give that list in txt file. And then this is the UC will use the uncover engine, which actually searches up Shodan and Census. And then this -UQ is user query. What do you want it to search? And then it will find ssl.search.expired is equal to true in those Shodan responses or Census responses. And then this will limit it to 50 targets only, so you don't get too much aggressive on your internet usage data. And then this will only show medium, high, and critical vulnerabilities. And then this will output the file in this name. So this is also a command that I think that you should try on. And what actually you can do to make it extremely powerful is you can have the subdomains like huge amount of subdomains that that are live, and then you can have a bash script that takes those subdomains and then run multiple Nuclei commands like this and simultaneously, okay? And then you can have you can scan the whole freaking website and all of its assets at one go for multiple things, right? And you can also do, like, for example, if you don't want to do a sell certificate expired, which is not a high type of vulnerability in my opinion, it's just information, I think. So what you can do is that you can type in, for example, port. You can say port 3389, right? So it will search up for open ports that are 3389. Now, what is open port 3389? It's for RDP, right? And you know that open ports for RDP is something fishy and it's something to look onto, right? Or you can do, for example, you can type in here title, and you can say cPanel, you can say cPanel, right? It will find cPanels for your domains. Or you can do here is, which is pretty interesting, is that http.title and colon, and then you can do index of. You can do this, so it will find those listed files in hidden directories or hidden files on those domains, right? This can be pretty interesting for you. You can find user credentials or things like that. So you can actually use Nuclei to really power up your web scanning or your pen testing for a website. So this was my whole video, and I hope you liked it. And I'm sorry I couldn't show you actual vulnerabilities because that would make the video pretty long. and I would have to sit in for the whole day because, scanning for every subdomain and putting on all the templates of Nuclei on each of the subdomains takes pretty much of the time. But I've shown you the methodology, I've shown you how to do it, I've shown you the commands and the theory behind those commands, and I hope you like this video. And if you do have any questions, you can just ask me on the comments. Thank you for watching the video.